ain't gonna ever back down from nobody. I don't care who it is. This is a brotherhood. And if we stand strong together, we can't be denied. If one of us goes down, we have another, and another, and another that's ready to fight. So let's hit this field and bang them, bang them, bang them. Somebody, light me up.
Welcome to the Empire. It's the Eskimo Empire podcast.
This is Trevor Harris.
Hey, how you doing? This is number 58, Travis Bond.
This is Christoph Malumba Chimanga.
Hey there, this is your co-host, Kenny Stafford.
Hey, this is Ryan King.
Calvin McCarty.
And you are listening to...
You're listening to the Eskimos Empire.
Listening to the Eskimo Empire podcast.
The Eskimo Empire podcast. Hope you guys enjoy listening.
Welcome back to the Turf District for the Eskimo Empire podcast, and we are a proud member of the Alberta Podcast Network, powered by ATB. I'm Andrew, and the playoff gang is all here. Superfan Mike.
Heyo.
And Commissioner Kayla.
Yippee.
Or Le Renard.
Oh.
Getting better.
Oh, bonsoir.
Oh, very nice. Well, if somebody's listening to this in the morning, though.
Oh, right. Bonjour.
Very nice. That's very good. I like that. We've had a very fun weekend.
Yes.
Yeah, I would say we were all pretty excited.
Tad.
Yeah, that's what I would say. Right before we get into too much, I should say thanks to the Esks for the help with the intro, because now we get to put that little fun part at the beginning right before the music. And I don't know about you guys, but I've listened to it a few times.
Yeah.
Just because, like, woo, that's so cool.
Yeah.
Chills.
And now my sons, we all say it together. It's like, so I'll go like bang them, and they'll go woo. It's like so exciting. Mm-hmm. So I love it. Yeah. So next week before the game, we're gonna put that on the YouTube. Get her all. There they come. Yeah, we'll be all excited, ready to go. We are into the East Final, folks.
We are.
Woo.
Who would have thunk it?
We
did.
A few people did, but not many.
Yeah.
Not many.
Just the true believers.
That's correct. Yes. Excelsior and all that.
Exactly. It's going to come into play later.
So we have a ton to talk about tonight. So
yes,
let's bring in our guests so that we
please.
can get right to it. Joining us again now it's been since the beginning of the season, I think was the last time that we had you on. But joining us again from Pay It Forward with Football, it is Quentin Eberts. How you doing, man?
I'm doing great. How's everybody doing?
Doing very, very well.
Awesome.
Love having you back here. Right up front, I got to say thank you because you were able to, you had a couple of extra Grey Cup tickets and you allowed us to be able to give them away on the Periscope tonight. And we had a winner in Christine Yablonski. That was a really exciting thing, and we got to experience a little bit of what you guys do because I told people to tell football stories, and it was amazing. So thank you.
You're quite welcome. No, it was my pleasure, and it's just in true sort of pay it forward style. Talking over with Sam, it was you guys have been supporting us since this started at the start of the year, so we're happy to pay it forward, and happy that Christine won.
And it's still like you're always paying it forward.
Yeah,
it's
gotta keep doing it.
I was going to say it's like you're living the brand all the time.
It seems that way.
He's on brand.
Exactly. So tell us a little bit about Pay It Forward with Football from this year, and kind of what stood out for you, what went really well, and kind of how things played out.
Well, it's interesting because when we first launched Pay It Forward with Football, we weren't sure what we were going to get in terms of a response. From people, especially, right? But we weren't sure what kind of stories we're going to get. Who are people going to nominate? Are they going to nominate their neighbors, their friends, their relatives? What that was going to look like? I don't think we were ready for the responses that we got for some of the games and some of the nominations we got. It's just the stories were just some of them are gut wrenching. Personal stories that. People actually took time to think about somebody else, and which is exactly what we wanted. So we had a lot of tough decisions to make, and to be honest with you, there was a lot of great stories that we weren't able to send to games this year. So that was kind of a little bit of a challenge for us, but it was so rewarding. It was, Sam and I talk about this all the time. We feel like we're still getting back, which we weren't expecting to feel that. And but we certainly did this year because the response was phenomenal.
That's awesome. Okay, so now for people who didn't listen to the original show and have now kind of joined in, give us a little bit of the background again on Pay It Forward and how it all works and kind of what people get.
Yeah, so, Sam and I, through the course of our relationship, we've been married for 7 years now. Even before that, we were going to games. We have a lot of personal connections to the Eskimos, to the stadium, and to the game of football. So much so that we decided that it was time to start to give some of that back. And so what we did is we asked people to send us nominations of somebody that they would like to send to an Eskimo home game. And like I said, the response was phenomenal. And so through our Facebook page, we received nominations. And for every home game, we were able to send 2 people to a game and give them a gift card for the concession as well for them to use there. So they could get sort of the whole experience with that. So, like I said, the response was great, and we had some tough decisions to make. But I think, we made some people happy, and that was our goal. So we were happy to do it.
Awesome. And you invited everyone to come join us at the tailgate. We met a number of these families and different people. And it was just, you could tell just how excited they were.
Difference.
Yeah. Absolutely, it was this was a big deal for a lot of these people. It was awesome.
Absolutely, yeah, and that was the coolest thing, right? So we made sure that everybody that we sent, we told them about the tailgate experience as well, so they could sort of get the whole aspect of what a game day looks like. And some of the people that we sent, it was just they're not able to go for a variety of reasons, and just to be able to sort of take that 3 hours away from their regular lives,
right, was
huge to a lot of people, right? So it was really great to see, and we couldn't be happier with the way this year turned out with that. So we're excited about it.
Well, and you also got a fair amount of support both from the team and in particular Coach Moss. I know he wore the T-shirt at a couple of his press conferences, which was outstanding. But tell us a little bit about that interaction as well, because it's a side of Coach Moss that I don't think as many people get to see or hear about.
Absolutely. Yeah, for sure. Happy to talk about it. So it was, I believe it was a Labor Day rematch. We got a Facebook message from Margene Moss, who is Jason Moss's wife. And the message was something along the lines of, I can't believe this is happening, and this is the first time hearing about it. What can I do to help? What can I do to support it? And so we started texting back and forth, some different ideas, and she said, you know what, I'm driving to Calgary, and on my way down there, I'll give you a call and we can chat about it. So as that conversation sort of went on, we started brainstorming, and she made it known at that point that her and Jason wanted to be a part of it, and they wanted to support us however they could, and so that relationship has been ongoing and growing with every home game. We've had opportunities to take our recipients down to the field after games. We've gone to practices. The people have had an opportunity to meet Jason and some of the players at practices and games and things like that. So very supportive. They've let it known to us to just put up our hand and ask. And I have to say, we've asked a few times, and the answer has always been yes. So couldn't be happier for the support we've got from them, for sure.
Oh, that is outstanding. And again, it's that side that we don't always get to see, right?
Yep.
So that
absolutely,
that's fantastic. Now, I assume that you're going to continue through next year.
We are, yes. So we've been discussing that and what that's going to look like. We are doing it next year. There might be some tweaks and some changes to that to see what that looks like, but and our goal is to grow it bigger and better sort of every year, and we want to reach as many people as we can. So we'll see what that looks like, but we're very excited about next year for sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Absolutely.
Yeah. I love it. I mean, everything about it is fantastic to me, and for the three of us, I know we've talked about it a lot, that anything we can do as well.
Right.
Like, we just want to support this because it's just amazing. So now you also gave away a pair of Grey Cup tickets to somebody that was part of your nomination process too.
Absolutely, we did. So unbelievable story. I mean, when we did when we made the announcement about giving away the tickets to the Grey Cup, we got a ton of responses right away, and then about 3 or 4 days before the deadline, we got some really, really solid ones as well. But the person that we chose for the Grey Cup, sort of a family story behind it. Our first ever recipient was a lady by the name of Leslie Silver. Mm-hmm. And she was nominated by her son Jay. And Leslie had gone through an experience where she had a young daughter who passed away. And her daughter was had 2 young kids. She was a single mom, and at that point there was sort of nowhere else for the kids to go. So Leslie, at the age of 70, if you can imagine, took her grandkids in to raise them, which she's currently doing. Wow! And so she was nominated by her son Jay for the exhibition game back in May. And as soon as we got that nomination, Sam and I said, "We're sending Leslie. We're sending her, right? There's just no way around that. We have to send her the first game." Fast forward to the end of the year, we make the Grey Cup announcement, and we get a nomination from Leslie Silver saying, "I'd like to nominate my son Jay," and gave us a great explanation on the support that she got from her son during this traumatic time. And keep in mind, this wasn't something that was just happening to Leslie. This was something happening to Jay as well.
Sure, absolutely.
And just sort of the resolve that the family shows, and the love and the support going through a time that I can't imagine even imagining was remarkable. So, like I said, we had some other good ones, but Sam and I discussed it, and we said, I think we need to send Jay to the Grey Cup. So we gave him his tickets last week, and it's his first ever Grey Cup. He's been an Eskimo fan forever.
Awesome.
And so he was super excited, and it was pretty emotional when I dropped off the tickets last week, for sure.
I bet.
You hear that, Eskimos? You need to make it now.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, absolutely.
Are you guys going down?
We are, yeah. We're going down just on Sunday, so we'll be there for just the game, and then we'll spend Sunday night in Calgary and then come back Monday. But yeah, we're looking forward to it for sure. Very excited.
That's going to be outstanding. I hope we get to run into Jay in our travels and kind of catch up and see how the whole experience is going for him too, because that's it's amazing when you get to your first Grey Cup, right, Kay?
Oh my gosh, I feel like I still have a high a little bit from last year.
Yeah.
So I can't wait for new people to experience it, because it's beyond anything you could possibly imagine.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, he's pretty excited, so we're looking forward to it.
Oh, this is awesome. This is awesome. All right, well, we'll get to our Esks news right away, but before that, this episode is brought to you by the TELUS World of Science Edmonton, home of the Canadian debut of Marvel Universe of Superheroes. Woohoo! We're all very excited. We are the first and so far only city to host this exhibition, and it runs until February the 17th. You can learn the story of Marvel and its influence on visual culture. See rare, hand-drawn images of iconic heroes like Spider-Man, Black Panther, and Captain America. It features more than 300 artifacts, costumes, props, and interactive elements to basically bring the Marvel Universe to life. So get your tickets today at TELUSWorldOfScienceEdmonton.ca. That's TELUSWorldOfScienceEdmonton.ca.
It's amazing. I've gone, and it's fantastic. They have original comics. They have like they said, the actual props and outfits from the movies. It's phenomenal. Yeah,
I my plan is to get there in the next couple of weeks. Yeah. I'm kind of, surprisingly enough, a little busy with football right now. But I will be getting in there before too long. I'm so excited to go and just check it out and have a little bit of fun there. So,
that's cool.
So yeah, make sure you check it out.
Yeah.
Now, Esks news, before we get into our game, we do have some West Division All-Stars to talk about that came from our team. Linebacker Larry Dean, receiver Greg Ellingson, defensive linemen both Armando Sewell and more, which is wonderful. Offensive line, Matt O'Donnell. They all go as All-Stars. Now, that is the League All-Stars, and then the CFLPA All-Stars will be announced at the Grey Cup, right?
Right, that's usually what they do. So they'll have the East and the West go head-to-head for the CFL All-Stars first, and then they'll have the CFLPA.
Okay, perfect. So lots of good choices in there. Nice to see more hit the list, actually.
Yeah, both defensive tackles, which is very cool with Mondo and Mike.
Yes, and kind of rare to have both D tackles from one team.
Yeah, absolutely. Sometimes you'll get both defensive ends, but tackles doesn't happen very often.
No, but
says a lot.
But lots of well-deserved ones for sure.
We got a lot to talk about as far as more is concerned right away too. So you can tell I'm excited about the game. Okay, Ryan King gets nominated for the Jake Goddard Award.
Well deserved.
Absolutely. And all of the stuff like with King's Kids, the football camps up north during the bye week. I mean, he's very involved in the community. I mean, I think we can all say that he either knows us or knows our kids. And it's not just like he knows, oh, well, I know that kid. It's like, hey, what are you doing? He knows exactly what's going on.
He is the Eskimo way.
100% agree.
And it's good that he's influencing others on the team too, right? Oh my gosh, my heart soared when I saw Godfrey was with him, because I just have such a soft spot for that guy.
Yeah.
And to see him, well, you've seen him at a fan day with kids even before
the
he
games,
was like he's out like an hour and a half before that actually starts playing with anyone who wants to.
Yep.
Even me.
He did that. Actually, he did that in Saskatchewan too.
Yep.
He went out early and was throwing the ball with kids in the stands and all. It's like, man,
he is the Eskimo way as well, and to have him under the wing of Kinger is just like, I really hope he stays here, even if he doesn't contribute all that much.
Oh,
he got to start.
He was a shutdown corner this week.
This week, yes,
it's great.
But hopefully that helps. But I'm just, prior to that, it was kind of a.
Yeah.
Not all the time.
No, I agree.
Yeah.
No, I hope he does stay. I think Kinger has actually won that award once before.
Correct.
Is this the third time he's been up for it?
I think so.
I think it's the third time. So, I mean, yeah, like we said, very well deserved.
Absolutely.
Keeps doing all of his stuff in the community. One roster move is Arjun Colquhoun comes off the 6th game, but going to the 1 game is both Forrest Hightower and Money Hunter, which... Well, we'll discuss if that was really a bad thing in a second.
Well, I mean, leading up to the game, it was pretty scary when you have 2 of your, starting 5 defensive backs go down just before the game.
Yes. Yeah, Thursday.
But.
Yeah. But, as it turned out...
We did okay.
Did all right. All right, let's get to it. Esks win 37-29 over the Montreal Alouettes in the East Semi, and they move forward in the Grey Cup March. I love the saying that they're using, the hashtag Why Not Us.
Oh, it's fantastic.
And Trevor Harris wearing that shirt with the logo, and then Why Not Us? One. Absolutely. I'm like, why are those not already on sale at the Esks store?
I think they probably will.
They should have been there yesterday, because how many people would have ordered one?
But who knew about that beforehand, right? Like, it just started saying that, like, at that game.
Yeah.
So beforehand, I'd probably be like, that's kind of neat. But now that we've seen Trevor...
But they could have built up to it, right?
Well, that too. But we've seen Trevor say it and wear it. So now everyone's like, oh, me too.
Yeah, that's right.
So,
but tomorrow morning when that store opens, people are going to want a shirt.
I highly suspect that they will.
I was online today trying to see if they had one. I was going to order one right away.
We'll call the Esks office.
Yeah.
On the other hand, though, as you had said on the Periscope, next week I have to wear the same jersey that I wore last week.
Well, yes.
I can't wear that
at the Grey Cup.
The Grey Cup during the week.
Yes.
Absolutely.
And then again, the day of, when we're in it.
I love this idea.
Yes.
And I'm pretty sure if they don't have it now, they will have it for Grey Cup. Those T-shirts.
I
would, for sure.
I'd be shocked if they didn't. Yeah. Exactly. So why not us? Hey, we got there. I want to start because with my what the fire truck moment, because before the game even started, tensions run a tad high. There's a little pushing and shoving before the game. The interesting thing for me in that was that although Diggs was in saying some stuff, he was also separating the guys, which was interesting.
Yeah.
But then Ryan King, that we were just talking about, was running around and pushing everybody back. Go over here. Stop. Go over here. Go over here.
True leadership.
So I must admit, when I saw that, I'm like, oh no. Where are we going to be able to get it under control for game time? But that is my first good of the game. Yes, we did. Only 3 penalties for the entire game.
And not really bad ones either. Kind of just like mishaps.
Well, and the one was offsetting.
Yeah.
Right?
Well, there were 3 for 30 yards that were, counted.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. So,
but they were like, what, 2 offsides?
There's at least 2. There's 1 holding for sure.
Yeah, I was going to say.
And I think there's 2 offsides, and I'm pretty sure both were.
Well, it has to be 30 yards combined. So.
Yeah.
Well, I think that
there was
15
the CJ
still
Gable
counts,
one.
right?
Yeah.
I think. The CJ. That was the illegal
block.
The illegal block when he fell. That one. That probably could have gone under the What the Fire Truck moment as well. But
That's not what I had for What the Fire. Yeah, but it's up there.
All right. Did you have a What the Fire Truck?
Yeah.
Oh, please.
The cover on a particular kick.
Are they not so special teams?
Not so special teams, but I mean, you watched it, and actually Henry Burris was showing what great blocks were happening, and right on the other side of the screen, you can see this massive hold on a player that would have probably stopped the run.
Oh.
Yeah. What the Fire Trucker?
Yeah, what the... on the other hand, but you got to do a little better on that contain on that particular one.
Contain wasn't great anyway. I mean, I think our net on punting was 27 yards.
Yeah.
So we're allowing some run backs for sure.
Yeah. Yep. That was happening. But, okay. We overcame it.
Well, that's why that was my what to watch, because I was just like terrified
of them.
Of that happening. And I'm like, 99 yards, there it goes.
There we go.
That's nice.
Yeah. I thought all the momentum was switching at that moment, but then the next drive, we quashed that pretty quickly. Yep. Yeah. Quentin, what do you got for goods in this game?
I think the offensive line is, had a stellar game, obviously, right?
Yeah,
Trevor Harris got the ball out of his hand quick, but he had all kinds of time back there to execute.
Only allowed one sack.
Yeah, I don't even think Harris's jersey was even scuffed, so that was definitely good for sure. That was
excellent.
Going to need more of that next week for sure.
Yeah.
And I agree. I think that they played a huge part. I'll get to that in a second. Kayla, what's your good?
Did you even have a good?
We're getting there. He just jumped in.
We did
the
What the Fire Trucker.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
There was lots of goods.
I know. You know what? There was so many goods. I have a ton of them listed.
Oh,
yeah.
I mean, this team didn't look like our team. Maybe at the beginning of the season, which the offense was actually kind of clicking, and I was actually cheering for Ellingson. What?
Yeah.
I was like, holy crap.
He had a monster game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I would
125?
Yeah.
Yep.
8 catches on 9 attempts.
So I would say my good was the offense, because I had not a lot of faith.
All right.
I'm not going to lie.
But, yeah, they definitely showed up to play this one. There's no doubt about it. Super fan.
Trevor Harris did okay.
He did okay. I was waiting for somebody to bring that up before we talk about the offensive line. But
his first 22 passes were caught.
And should have been 23. That was the push-ups.
That was the Ellingson. He was 8 of 9. That was the 9.
I know. Should have been 23.
But still, he had,
easy.
92.3%.
Yes, that's correct.
His 421 yards gave him a quarterback rating of 109.51.
Wow.
Not bad, especially when you consider Vernon Adams, who was getting his tires pumped like crazy by the panel. His quarterback rating was 40.59.
That happens, though, when you throw 3 interceptions.
Yeah, and no touchdowns.
Right?
And 200 some odd yards.
Right.
And he had to do a lot of running himself.
He did have to do a lot
of running. They rushed on us quite a bit.
Yes.
But everyone worried about our defensive backfield, and we held them to, 226 yards?
Right. Yes.
Through the air. So not bad.
No, not bad at all. And
then Josh Johnson,
that's the thing. I mean, Josh Johnson, and I tweeted it out, you magnificent bastard.
Yep.
2 interceptions in the 3-minute warning. And that second one was ridiculous.
Oh, fighting that ball with Eugene Lewis?
Yeah, he just wanted the ball more.
Absolutely.
That's all that came down to. Yeah.
Well, and he's not nearly as tall as Eugene Lewis, but he was just as high in the air. That was ridiculous.
That's just 1-2 right there.
He got air.
Yeah. Oh, it was outstanding.
But you're so right.
And
it's who wanted it more.
It's funny because leading up to this game, they talked about how Eugene Lewis is going to eat him for lunch because of this massive height difference.
Yes.
And he's going to, every 50-50 ball he's going to get.
Yeah.
He has moon boots, not cleats.
Moon boots.
Nice.
That's very true.
There's a branding initiative right there.
Oh, absolutely, yes.
Josh Johnson moon boots.
I'd buy some.
Yes, me too.
Yeah,
me too.
Okay. Title of the podcast.
Yes.
Josh Johnson's moon boots. I'm going to leave that alone. Now, the other thing, and this is what we were talking about with some of the movements that they had to make at the last minute on Thursday by putting some of those DBs on the list. One of those spots was filled by Josh Johnson, and no penalties, great coverage, I thought he played very well in that position.
Yeah.
And because of that move, Taekwon Glass took over the corner spot, had the one that he had, had the penalty call. He just said, but on that 2-point conversion, that was one of the greatest blocks. And then in the fourth quarter, same thing, dives out at the last minute, totally just threw off just enough. I thought in the end he had an amazing game. So
he did.
So I think those two kind of made up for having to make that last.
Hoover had a pretty solid game too.
Oh, absolutely.
7 tackles. He led the team.
Yep, absolutely.
7 or 8?
What's that?
Was it 8?
Hoover, I thought he had 7 too.
I thought I
Probably
read 7,
7.
but
yeah.
Someone had 8.
Yeah, I thought he got hurt at that one point, but then he got back up, and he had a great game as well. But I was floored by Johnson. He just had an amazing game.
Yeah. I was on Montreal, sorry.
There it is. We're not talking about Montreal.
I read 8 somewhere, okay?
Another guy that had a pretty solid game, Sean White.
5
for 5.
Bounce back.
Kind of does what he does.
He did.
Yep.
Absolutely.
That's the thing. We were saying that when we were watching the game at your place, and they were lining up for even just the 20-yard field goal. And I know Nicole even said, she goes, that even looks far away. And then, the 38 one, it's like, whoa. And there it goes.
That camera angle was awesome for that.
Oh, it was outstanding.
He had, 18 points?
Yeah.
3 converts and 5 field goals.
Wow.
Not bad.
Not bad. Yep. Still can't pick a kicker in fantasy, which is dumb.
Really?
Pick Sean White every week.
Yep.
Yeah. Awesome.
That's weird.
I know that you would be excited about this, Mike, so I want to talk to you. The balance between Gable and Cooper.
Yeah, Cooper used a little more out of the backfield.
Right.
As a receiver, but still fantastic game.
And Gable with 2 TDs. That second one, again, not going to be denied.
Yeah.
No.
Again, want to, right?
Absolutely.
You want to do more, right? So
yeah. I love that we picked the over-under on Calvin to be 3.5. And in the end,
over.
like in the first quarter, it's like, oh, yeah, well, there it is. And
there's the over.
He got his over by getting the touchdown, but he was instrumental in that second Gable one, just helping to push him in. And keeping his legs moving, and then rolled off to get in there.
And
outstanding.
I'm glad they actually described why they didn't blow the whistle, because I was like, oh my gosh, they're going to blow it. But I liked how I don't know if it was Rod Black or who was
probably Dwayne Ford.
Dwayne Ford, yeah. But he was like, because CJ Gable kept his feet moving,
right?
Then I was I actually didn't know that.
Yeah, you get to learn something for sure.
Yeah, you could actually see him still going, moving and turning, like he wasn't actually stalled.
Yeah,
right.
And then rolled off and got in.
Well, I saw that like during more of a slow mo replay,
absolutely.
but during I was like, no, they're gonna blow the whistle, and then all of a sudden they call a touchdown. And I was like, oh my gosh, it was amazing.
Yeah, lots and lots of good in this game.
Yeah.
Did you have another one that you wanted to throw out there?
I think for underrated, Ricky Collins Jr. had a hell of a game.
Absolutely.
117 yards?
I believe that was the guy that I said I was watching last
sir.
week to say he needed to have one of those games with Harris. And
did.
He did. Yes, it was lovely to see.
There's a lot of people you can pick for good in this game.
Oh, tons. As a team, too, time of possession.
Yep.
12 minutes more.
Yeah.
That's how you beat teams.
Yep. +2 on the turnover ratio.
Keep your offense on the field and keep their offense off of it.
I think everything we talked about for the keys to the game all came through.
Great. Oh, I can't wait till we do this week.
Yes.
It's going to be fun.
Score more points than they do.
That's right, yes. Any bads that you had? Was there something that kind of stood out to you that they needed to work on? I mean, other than the obvious kick return. Anything else on there, Quentin?
I think something that could have been a little bit better was spying on the QB. I think. I mean, Vernon Adams is an athlete, and he's gonna make people miss. But
he's slippery. Yeah,
I think, and they did shore that down a little bit in the fourth quarter as well. So
adjustments.
I think adjustments. Yes, yeah. So that was nice to see. But I mean, they should have been spying that guy all game, in my opinion. But that's something that you don't play a quarterback of that talent, that skill set overly often. So, but that could have been shored up a bit, I think.
Yeah, that's fair. Absolutely. Kayla?
That was kind of not directly like that, but the third and fourth quarter defense, I want all game. It's not that they were bad by any means, but I think they just needed to be a little bit more aggressive. And I mean, I give it to the Montreal O-line as well, because some of those blitzes that were coming, like Usher's, when he was trying to wrap around, like that was an amazing.
That block was incredible, actually,
right?
Yeah.
So, like, give it to Montreal, but we definitely need to. We need to get Evans on his behind, and I really want that line to just punish them. Punish that Hamilton. Sorry, that was my bad. No, we're going into the keys of the game.
Yeah,
okay, sorry.
Yeah, bad was a little more pressure.
Yeah.
I hear a whip sound again. That's outstanding. What? Oh, my goodness.
We'll listen to the last episode. Anyway.
Yeah, we'll talk about that after. Super fan?
Yeah, there's a couple of things. Some of that zone when they had that Quan Bray 50-yard reception.
Yes. Yeah.
And just, I think most of it was, for me, was on defense. I think that Jason Moss called an outstanding game. It's another good of the game was the way Moss called that game.
Yeah. Absolutely.
He basically played everyone's strengths on offense, no question.
In the first half, yes. In the second, it tailed off a bit. We were falling more back into our field goal ways, right?
Yeah.
Do you think he was more conservative, though?
Yeah, white zone. Lots of white zone.
More conservative in the offense, though, and let the defense control this game a little bit?
I want them to be all
No, but I'm saying, I'm wondering if that's where their adjustments is, okay, we're up. Let's not be as aggressive. I don't know. I'm not in his head.
Tough to say, but yeah. But I agree. I mean, I thought the first half was unreal.
Yeah.
Using every receiver.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And then our run defense, much like what Quentin was talking about, just not only spying the quarterback, but getting more contained, because he got outside several times.
He did,
yeah.
And just moved the sticks with his legs.
Yeah, true.
I mean, 226 yards is okay for a quarterback in a modern CFL game, but not great.
Right.
Now, it did help with those 3 interceptions.
Yeah, it definitely helped.
I mean, those are kind of receptions, aren't they?
Kind of, yeah.
That's
the right way as well as we're concerned.
Exactly. That should count. I think going against that style of quarterback has been a bit of a weakness for us. So next week, it's going to be a little easier, I think, because he's not as much of a mobile quarterback.
I was going to say, like, Adams is a tough one to track down because of his athleticism and... Well, look at him. Like you said, he's slippery. Like, how many times did he outrun or just outmaneuver?
Oh, and get the 6 or 7 yards they needed. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
The future's bright in Montreal.
Oh,
yeah,
absolutely.
I totally agree. Totally agree. Yeah. My only bad in this game was there's just not enough Kwaku. Come on. We'll get in there. I know he was working. Yeah, more Mondu.
It'll happen.
More Kwandu.
Hey, saving up for the next game.
That's a good point. Yeah, I like that. That's a good thing
to watch.
As we said, there's lots of good to choose from. Player of the game, who would you give it to, Quentin?
It's hard to not say Trevor Harris. I think it's kind of a no-brainer. I mean, he picked the defense apart. He looked comfortable the whole game.
Yep.
I mean, the guy's a leader. He's been in the big game before, I think, which needs to be discussed at this point. But Trevor Harris for sure. He put the team on his back, and even if you watch during commercial breaks, when it's ball gets turned over to the defense, and he's cheering everybody up on the defense, saying let's go, let's get this, and just a true leader, right? So it's my hats go off to him. He had a great game.
Awesome, excellent pick, Kayla.
Did we get the what the firecracker moment?
Well, do you have one?
I do.
Sure, go ahead.
So I'm just going to backtrack because I have not a little story, but a confession.
Okay.
So, everyone knows I've been cheering for Montreal this entire season, and I think a lot of people have been. But I'm not going to lie. I wanted my team to win, but I cried when Montreal lost. My heart was so broken for Vernon Adams. Seeing him break down. Yeah. That was I was like, why am I so emotional about a team I used to hate?
And John Bowman in the locker room after.
Yeah. That was
I didn't see that yet, but
he was in tears.
Yeah.
I retweeted one of the guys trying to cheer up Vernon Adams, and he reminded me of Franklin because he's like, yes sir, and I'm like, I can't. Like my emotion just got the best of me, and the future is bright, but it's a heartbreaker. That's the one team I didn't want to eliminate, and we had to do it, and it sucks because it would have been awesome to see them go a little bit further, but
not when they have to play us.
Well, no, and that's just it, right? Like it has nothing to do with my team. It has everything to do with wanting an underdog to succeed. So, but anyway,
now we're the underdog.
That's right.
Perfect again.
Well, I like cheering for them, so.
See? Perfect. All right, player of the game then?
So I kind of, there's a couple that are quite obvious, and actually you guys already named the one, so thanks for taking my thunder, but
we haven't
whatever.
named ours yet. You can pick whoever you want.
No, but I had him in mind, so that's,
Harris?
No, beforehand. God,
we haven't done our player of the game, so you can pick
no, but
whoever
you already
want.
said who had an amazing game.
Oh, yeah. Well,
But anyway, so apart from the obvious, my guy that really stuck out for me because he came in and filled the position. He's a young gun, and it's Taekwon Glass.
Okay.
I thought he had such a great game for the shoes that he had to fill, the position that he played, getting his emotions a little bit under control with the help of other players. But he really impressed me, and I'm hoping he plays this next game.
Okay, perfect. Super fan?
I was such a big Josh Johnson fan from training camp.
Yes, you were.
And I've seen, he's had some great games. I said on the Periscope, he's the first Eskimo to have 3 interceptions in a playoff game since 1959 with Oscar Kruger. That is a record that he will always have. And I think he was just one of the brightest stars on defense, and there was a lot of good stars there.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. I'm going to swing around to one that we did say, but who I said I was going to watch last week, and Ricky Collins. I thought he just really, really came to play, and I thought he was
catches.
I thought he was going to break that one, and didn't quite. But man, he made some unreal catches, and just he was that second down guy. He did very, very well in this game. So I want to give him some
coverage.
Oh, the one in triple coverage. I don't know how Trevor Harris got it in there. That was one of the most accurate balls I've ever seen. He's right there. Like
name of the podcast.
Oh, absolutely. It should be the title of the podcast. And of course, a special shout out from all of us to our good friend Calvin McCarty, who had a massive game as well, and it was nice to see him getting involved. So that was
yours, Calvin's, and then Taekwon. I was going back and forth with all of them. So.
There we go.
So thank you for that mention. Who I think was my player to watch?
I think it was actually. Because then we were talking. Calvin did well. All right, let's take a really quick break, and then we will come back with this week's CFPN game preview and our playoff division final pick'ems.
Oh my gosh.
Hi, this is Tom Richards, and you're listening to the Eskimo Empire Podcast.
You can join the Empire online.
Find us at eskempire.ca.
Check out all the new blogs and then follow us on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram.
For more history, follow at Esks History on Twitter.
And even more of my pics on Esk Empire Photo.
Don't forget to rate, review, and subscribe to help the pod grow. Thanks again for listening. Let's get back to the show. Welcome back. This week, I want to recommend another great podcast in the Alberta Podcast Network. Check out the show I Have Some Notes, where Greg and Scott punch up mediocre Hollywood movies. Some great interactions and laughs on this one. They've recently gone over Wild Wild West, Speed Racer, and Kong Skull Island, and found some notes to put in there.
Oh, good.
They also had a really cool contest where they brought in some people to try and guess the rating on Rotten Tomatoes for summer movies. And then however close they were, they would get different points. And if you were the one with the least amount of points, you won. And they're about to announce the winner. So I think it's just kind of a neat take on having some fun with movies that are out there. So you can search I Have Some Notes on your podcatcher, or of course you can check out their link and all the great shows on Alberta Podcast Network.com. There we go. All right. CFPN game preview. Esks are looking to be the first Western team to move to the Grey Cup out of the East as they meet the Hamilton Tiger Cats in the Donut Box. It is an 11 a.m. Mountain Time start once again. A very, very tough challenge.
We're up for it.
We are up for it. Uncle BD stats moment today. The Esks have actually never met the Ticats in a division final. Shocking. But do have a 2-1 playoff record in their history against the Ticats. And from Morley Scott, Trevor Harris has started 3 playoff games, has a 2-1 record, has thrown for 1,245 yards and 9 TDs. In 3 games?
6 of them in the last one.
That's not bad, right? Yeah, 6 of them in the last time we...
Against the Ticats.
Against the Ticats. So, this would be all right.
I think so.
All right, then.
He didn't lose to them this year either.
That's true, because he also didn't play against them this year. Right. That works out well. So for the Cats side of the ball, we will catch up with another friend in the Canadian Football Podcast Network, and welcome back Mike from Podskeeweewee. How you doing, man?
Good. Thanks for having me back on.
Absolutely. We're glad you're here, because that means that we've moved on, and we're moving into meet your team. And of course, the Cats now hosting the East Final. How are you kind of feeling about a season that actually wasn't just 9-9?
I'm feeling pretty good about it. 15-3 is a record that the Ticats have never seen before. So I believe their best record was 11 or 12 wins before that. So it's been an interesting ride with Jeremiah Mazzoli going down so early in the season. I remember, my hopes were not very high after that. I thought the season might be over, but Dane Evans has stepped in and done a heck of a job. So it's been a great season for the Ticats.
Now, more importantly, there was a bet made at the beginning of the season. Have your legs gotten all prepped and ready to go for the big shave? Or, yeah.
Well, I don't remember that bet.
I think Josh will remind you.
I was going to say, I'm betting someone's going to remind you.
Well, Josh isn't coming to the Grey Cup, so there's no one to hold me accountable for that. No.
Nice.
I'll get it done. I'll bet some bets. I'll be more aerodynamic, so that's good.
It's between you and Brazilian Tie, I swear.
Yeah, exactly.
So, we all saw the show that Trevor Harris put on yesterday, and I'm sure even with the therapy, you remember what he did to the Cats last year. So, how does... No, you? Wow, you got some real memory problems here. So, how does the Tiger Cats defense prep for T-Sniper?
Well, that's a good question. I think you gotta get him, uncomfortable, and it's gonna be tough with that offensive line that Edmonton has. I believe they only allowed 25 sacks in the regular season, and I'm no mathematician, but that is less than 2 a game. So it's gonna be tough. We have a good defensive line. We're gonna have to get after him. We're gonna have to send some blitzes and make him a little bit uncomfortable, because if he's just able to sit back in the pocket like we saw against Montreal on the weekend, the Ticats could be in for a long day.
Oh, yeah. And they will be.
Oh,
look at you.
I don't know.
I know. That is as cocky as I get, because I'm just still very nervous.
I'm like, what is it with you two?
Nope, that's it. Right, I swear.
Okay.
Okay. So going on the other side of the ball, Dane Evans going into his first playoff game, and he's handled starting pressure all year. Do you think he is ready?
I think he is, but we saw with Vernon Adams, a guy in his first playoff game, he had his troubles. He threw multiple picks, bad decisions by him, and Dane Evans is a rookie starting quarterback. So this is his first playoff game in the CFL. I'm a little bit worried just because I'm a Ticat fan, and I'm always a little bit worried. But I think he'll be all right. I think he has the supporting cast around him that will, and the coaching staff that will, keep him level-headed, and I think he'll make the right decisions when game time comes around.
Well, I mean, you have history not on your side and on your side. I mean, we are the West coming in the East, and no one crossing over has made it, but, well...
Why not us?
We'll just
first time for everything, right? So
you can't see my face, but just assume.
Not a video podcast.
That's right. Yeah, exactly. Mike, is there a player that's kind of you think needs to kind of have a standout game to get past the Eskimos here?
Well, I could go with my boy Luke Tasker. We're best friends forever. So I just think that he's been out for a while, and he's ready to have a big game. I think he's going to make those tough catches over the middle and get those first downs. The usual guys like Brandon Banks and Braylon Addison, they will not be flying under the radar, from the coaching staff of the Eskimos. But Luke Tasker might be a little bit forgotten about just because he hasn't been around this whole season. So I'm looking for a big game from him.
Not forgotten by my mom. She thinks he's cute.
Okay.
Who's his dad?
Yeah, he's colorful, so
Yeah, no idea who his dad is. Yeah, we should research that.
Yes.
Do you know Mike?
I think Rod Black might know, but I don't have contacts with him. So
okay. It's good to be up on
I know
on
the
top.
fake Rod Black on Twitter, but not the real one.
He's better anyway.
All right, so overall keys to the game. What do the Cats got to do to get by and get into that Grey Cup game?
I think they got to get their run game going. It's going to be, it's got to be a balanced attack. We can't be throwing the ball the whole game. It might be cold, and I haven't checked the weather, but we got Terrell Sutton and Cam Marshall, which I love both those guys. So if we can get the run game going, I think the line play is going to be huge. The defensive line of the Tiger Cats going up against that strong offensive line of the Eskimos and vice versa. So I think the line play is going to be a huge deal, and the Tiger Cats got to get that running game going.
Awesome. That's a great key. So it looks like, what did you say, Kayla?
Good weather.
Oh, it's going to be good weather. Okay. Well, that could make it very interesting.
All right, then we can toss it up all game long like we did. You guys remember the last game the Ticats and the Eskimos played? There was a lot of long bombs in that
I remember
one.
the last time Trevor Harris played Hamilton.
Yeah, me too.
I don't recall that.
I can send you a video.
No, that's okay.
Well, as we always do, we want to give you a second there to plug your show. Tell everybody where they can get all the Ticats news as they go into this big game so that we can be all set on both sides.
You can get this show at 3downnation.com, Podbean, iTunes, wherever you can get your podcast. We're on there, so check it out. Give it a listen. Josh is pretty good, and I'm all right, I guess. I don't know.
And where do people find you on the Twitters?
On the Twitter sphere? It's Mike_Ticats, and you can follow along the Podskeeweewee account as well at Podskeeweewee.
Awesome.
And I might run a Grey Cup fanny pack account, but that's a bit of a secret. So.
Amazing.
Insta follow.
Exactly. That one just got a whole big bump right there. Yeah.
Yep.
And that's not actually a slam on fanny packs. It was just a big bump in followers. That's what I meant.
Better enough. Slam on fanny packs.
Excellent. Well, we look forward to seeing you down in Calgary. And, of course, to your team, we wish you the best of luck next year. And we will have some fun as we are down in Calgary getting ready to watch the big game with the Eskimos in it.
I actually saw Armando Sewell at work today, and I was going to take out his kneecaps, but I decided against it since he's such a nice guy. So
he'd probably squash you like a bug. Yeah, no bigs. You could try. You'd fail.
Hey, if you sneak up behind him, Just don't tell him I said that. Just don't tell him I said that.
Thanks, Mike. We appreciate it, man.
All right, thanks, guys.
Big thanks to Mike and, of course, the boys over at Podskeeweewee for joining us. It's going to be a fun week of banter with them, I can only imagine.
Oh, yeah.
I'm just excited for the fact that he is actually going to go through with the bet, and it seems that every time in the CFPN that we have some type of Grey Cup bet, somebody loses a lot of hair.
Yeah, and I'm just glad that we're not betting.
Correct. Yeah. I think we know better.
Yes.
Yeah. Better?
We don't drink enough.
That's a good point. Didn't you just give me the gin advent calendar?
Well, yeah, but you're not drinking it all before Grey Cup, you'll notice.
That's a good point. Yeah. Oh, yeah. It's all after. Yeah. Now that's in break time.
Yep.
Yeah, exactly. Let's talk about the Esks side of the ball. So, keys to the game for the Eskimos. Quentin, we will start with you. What do you think the boys got to do?
We got to get the running game established, I think. I know Gable had a couple touchdowns last game, but I think in terms of controlling the ball, controlling line of scrimmage, we got to get the running game going, I think, and win the time of possession like we did last week as well. So
awesome.
I think they used him a lot better this time too. You saw a lot more runs outside.
What is that?
Things up.
We can run outside,
and being able to use both running backs, I think was great.
Yeah, change up the speed,
sure.
right? You're not sure who's going to be there and which way they're going. I agree.
Yep.
Kayla?
Oh, it's pretty broad. I'll try to... No, I'm not going to. So we need the first half's offense to play all game, and the second half's defense from the last game to play all game. We need that team sharp, but mostly I think the D has to be extra on point, especially in the backfield. Like, those guys have to be tight, because Danes can heave that ball.
Yeah,
I don't
absolutely.
know how he's with his feet, though. I don't know if he can dance.
300 yards total.
Yeah, he
over
can't really
14 games.
dance outside the pocket very well, so he's not as slippery as Vernon Adams. So
he's a great pocket passer, though.
He is,
yeah.
But if he goes outside of it, so if they create a lot of pressure and he can't throw that ball, he's not going to escape like Adams did.
Yes.
But we have to really, really play that clock, play that backfield, and control where they are on the field, too. What's that called?
That's fair. Like field position?
Field position. Like what I said last time, too. Not so much on the special teams, but yeah, that defense has to level up.
Ooh, defense
New
level
hashtag.
up. I like this. Yes, exactly. Super fan.
Sort of riffing off of that, I think this is going to come down to Braylon Addison and Speedy B versus our defensive backs.
Correct.
I think that
I agree.
We had some great game from several of our defensive backs this last game, and they just have to continue it. And then on the other side of the defense, we just got to get a lot of pressure on Dane to make him have to throw those balls sooner than he wants to.
Yes.
If we can do that, I think we might see more turnovers and certainly at least more incompletions.
Right, and like we said with Mike, right, he's rookie going into his first playoff game. So as much as they've had the bye week, that gave him another week to think about it. So is that I'm not saying in any way that Evans isn't a mentally strong guy, but you have to think it being a rookie going into playing that first playoff game, there's going to be some extra nerves, right?
Yeah, I mean, we see it all the time in the West and in the East. I mean, Masoli did great in his first playoff game versus BC, but that second game versus Ottawa, neither side of the ball was great, but that offense didn't do much.
Right. Yeah, very true. I'm going to say that the keys for me is the same as they were really last week. Strike early and get the crowd out of it if you can. They really going to have to do that because in Hamilton, that crowd is a game changer.
And it's sold out.
Yeah, absolutely it is. So it is going to be loud and they're going to be very excited for their team, and as they should be. So we got to give Trevor that time. Get him, hopefully, because they haven't seen Trevor before. He's getting that ball out quickly and marching him down the field again. And I was very, very happy to see, the anywhere between 6 to 15 yard pass on a regular basis, and just use that strength that Trevor has to be accurate in that spot. That's the reason we call him T-Sniper. He can get it into that space. Use that, work the clock, keep their offense off the field. I think those are huge keys for us.
Yeah, we did great in the first quarter and against Montreal.
Absolutely. And set the tone.
36 completions for 421 yards. That's more than 10 yards a pass.
Yeah, absolutely.
And maintain the discipline as well is going to be essential.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
And
even
stay
before
calm.
the kickoff.
Yeah. Hey, just get out a little bit of the rubber, just get it out, out, loosen up, and then game time comes.
Don't get kicked out of the game.
Well, no.
The game starts.
I don't think it was going to go that far, right?
Yeah. Let's be a little cautious, but yeah, that'll be all right. Which player are you watching in this game then, Quentin?
I am going to be watching Larry Dean. I think I think Hamilton's going to try and establish the run early. And with Terrell Sutton, he's a bruiser, right? So I think they're going to try and run it down our throats. So I'll be watching on him to see if he can, fill the gaps and win the line of scrimmage battle on the defensive side of the ball. So looking forward to watching that for sure.
Perfect.
Yeah. Come back to me.
Commissioner? Oh, come back. Super fan?
I think with the great game we saw out of Ellingson and out of Ricky Collins, I think we're going to see if those two guys do get a little more attention. I think that opens up the game for Tavon Smith.
Right.
Didn't have a lot of balls go his way, so I think this time...
Title of the podcast?
Yes.
Okay, yeah.
I love every podcast.
Absolutely.
I think we're going to see maybe him get worked in a little more.
Yep, that's a good one.
You go first, because I don't want to pick what you...
That's fine. You can pick whatever you want. I have lots of options.
No, you pick.
Okay. I am going to be watching Jamil Smith this game because I think that he's had that game to kind of get his feet back under him again and did okay. So great, ball protection, which is very important.
Title of the podcast.
Thank you. And then be able to get... But I think he'll be able to break one of those out. So if we can end up with that a little bit better field position, I think that helps us out. Again, it's offense, just be on and control the ball. But I want to see what Jamil can do.
Okay. So I actually thought you were going to go with Kwaku Boateng because earlier you said you wanted a little bit more.
I always want more Kwaku.
Of course. But I'm really interested to see how those ends, both him and Usher, do. But I think I'll focus on Kwaku.
Okay.
I think he's going to be extra hungry this game.
Yeah.
And he's not going against Vernon Adams. He's going against someone who maintains his position in the pocket. So I'm thinking there's going to be a lot sent his way.
Ooh.
We get some hula hoops.
Yep.
Yeah.
No, please.
What?
Some home runs. Home runs would be better. Yeah.
I thought you...
Not a video podcast.
Sorry, I call their kicker hula hoop. So I was
Haralahu. Yeah. Okay.
Yes.
Call him hula hoop.
Yes.
Okay.
You haven't seen my tweets?
No, I have not.
I call him hula hoop.
Oh, okay. Well,
Haralahu.
How do you say
Haralahu. That's why I just say hula hoop.
That's okay.
That makes sense.
That totally makes sense. It's a lot easier that way. There you go. All right. Now our prop bet for this week. Last week the over paid out
quite handsomely.
Yes, and it was lovely. Do you have a stat that you would like us to prop bet on this week, Quentin?
This one might be simplified or done before, but I'm thinking punts.
Punts? Number of punts in the game.
We're going to see in the game, yes.
Oh my goodness. I'm going to have to pull the memory banks here to see. So Hugh, the last few games, he hasn't had to punt as much.
I think he had 6 this last game.
Let's see.
Yeah, I think so. This 6 in the... Oh yeah, then maybe. Yeah. There was a lot of field goals this last game, though, so I don't know if there was that many punts. The one in
6 sounds about right.
3 pretty close. For 137.
3 this last week. Okay,
all right, yeah.
All right, Hugh O'Neill punts. We're playing a very good defense in the Hamilton Tiger Cats. We've got an offense that's starting to move down the field, so there's going to be some field goals. Let's set the over under at. Let's go with 4.5.
That's what I was going to go. Nice.
4.5. All right, so over under, Quentin. What are you going to go with?
4.5. That I am going to say under.
Okay.
I'm going to say under. I think, with like you said about Jamal Smith, and I think the field position battle is going to be a little bit more in our favor this game than it was last game. So touchdowns or field goals. Let's hope we're not punting more than 4 times.
All right. That's good. Commissioner?
Yeah. I really hope you're right.
Meow is not an answer.
Really? I said yeah.
Oh, I heard meow.
No.
Okay.
I was like, yeah.
That is an answer.
It is, yeah.
It makes sense.
Max.
Yeah, exactly.
Max, he was here.
Yes, yeah.
I'm thinking 5. Oh, so I'm going to go over.
All right.
I really hope I'm wrong, but yeah.
That's fair. Super fan.
Last week I was way wrong, so I'm going to go over.
Okay. All right. I see your game now.
There it is.
There. It took me a second. Yeah, exactly. I will go with I'm going to go with over too, actually, because I had kind of 5 in my mind. So
I think we could see the defenses testing each other out a bit.
Yes.
At the beginning.
So they'll get a couple more at the beginning and then lock them down at the end.
Yep.
Make them punt more. More hula hoop.
More hula hoop.
That's right. Your accent on it is wonderful. Yes. Hula hoops all around. More punting and more Kwaku celebrations. That's right.
That was nicer than Fruit Loop.
That is very nice. Yeah, I do appreciate that.
Those are tasty, though.
They are. But they get soggy really quick.
Toucan Sam.
So.
We're going to go off on a whole new podcast if we start talking about that. Our other pick'em, of course, is for the West Final. Winnipeg versus Saskatchewan in the Rectangle. Quentin, you get first pick on this. Who do you got going to the Grey Cup against the Eskimos?
This is a tough one. The question I have is, do we have a healthy Cody Fajardo?
Does not sound like it.
Yes, that worries me. I think
he may still play. I don't know if he'll be 100% though.
Yes, and I don't know that we're going to hear about that until game day. To be honest with you,
maybe the day before.
Maybe the day before, right? So. That being said, I'm going to take Saskatchewan regardless. I think their defense is going to come up big. I think we have enough tape on Collaros now. We have some tape on Strevler. So I just see that atmosphere in Regina just being too strong. I think that's going to be sort of the breaking point there. So I think it's going to be a close game, but I think Saskatchewan pulls it off.
All right, fair enough. Commissioner?
Since I don't pick the Riders, I will not this time. But in order to actually be successful, the Bombers do have to take the crowd out of it and early. I mean,
Absolutely.
Riders fans are loyal, so they're going to be there the entire game. But you can silence them, and they annihilated Calgary, and it wasn't that beautiful.
Yeah, yes, it was very, very nice.
So
yes.
I am all for the Bombers, and I think I'm going for the second biggest upset.
All right, then.
Be the first.
Okay, because we'll be okay. That's fair. All right, then.
Are we an upset? I don't know. I think everyone loves us.
According to betting lines and stuff. Yes,
I don't count them.
Okay, yeah.
I said before the playoffs started. I said before the playoffs started, it was going to be Winnipeg, Edmonton in the Grey Cup. The away team was going to win every game, and especially since it's in Calgary, we would be the away game in the Grey Cup.
Right.
So I think that just works out perfectly. So yeah, I think with the way they use Strevler and Collaros together was absolutely fantastic.
It's cool.
Collaros is especially hungry to beat his former team from earlier this year.
Yes.
And we don't know if Fajardo's healthy, and if he is playing and not at 100%, I think that's going to be a big effect on them.
Absolutely. So you're picking...
I said Winnipeg and Edmonton in the Grey Cup.
Okay. All right. I was also going to go with Winnipeg this week only because of that news of Cody Fajardo, and I'm just not... I don't have the same
Jesus sprinkles on it. You don't know.
Yeah, exactly. If he finds a way to play and he looks healthy, then they could definitely pull it off. But right now, with the information we have, I'm going to go with Winnipeg, who is finding a way to get that other gear right now and playing very well. And like you said, they really dominated that second half of the game against Calgary.
They did. Yeah, they did.
So it could be two teams that they talk about they're not having their head coach next year.
Yeah,
in the Grey Cup.
In the Grey Cup, yeah, it could be very interesting. Yeah,
really.
So that's what.
Chase?
Yeah, he doesn't have a contract for next year.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
So they don't know. So it'll be very interesting.
So it's not so much a fire as just part ways, if need be.
Could be. We don't know.
If there's no contract in place.
Depends. If he wins the cup, that might change things.
Even if he gets to it.
If he gets to it, that's true.
But do you think we would sneak in then to the Stampeders locker room and make a...
No, probably not. Because we don't need to. We can just make a mess wherever we go.
Well, why wouldn't you just want to do it in both then?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. We can ask the Winnipeg players if they want to share because we all hate Calgary. That'd be great. Yeah,
maybe.
Exactly. So that could be very exciting. All right. Now, of course, if you want tickets to any of these games, any of the playoff games, hockey, concerts, anything like that, go to SeatGiant.ca. All tickets are in Canadian dollars, so no switching around on your credit card. And they have all of these kinds of events available. You can put in the code APN and you'll actually get 5% off as well. So help support the network and see your event for less by going to SeatGiant.ca and getting your tickets. Now, CFPN Fantasy League, I was very, very lucky. I thought I had lost.
Then you refreshed.
And then I hit refresh, and that last catch by Hergy Mayella was just enough for me to take the 2-point win over Rod from Wood Cookie Sawcast. What a battle. And I had a whole bunch of points in the early game, and then he caught up in that second game. It was a great back and forth match. So very exciting. So we've now got our final four as far as that's concerned. I am taking on Brazilian Thai in my division final.
You should have a bet on this one.
No, I don't think so. And because that means hair loss for somebody. So I'm going to go with no.
Brazilian Andrew? No?
Yeah, no, I like being married. And then the other side has Ryan Coop taking on Safamod. So
that was it. Ryan had the tie last week.
Yeah.
Oof.
So what's very interesting though is now you have basically the Bomber and Rider fan going against one another.
That's true,
right? And then Esks and Riders on this side. Yep. So it's kind of interesting that way. all amazing players, and if any of the four of us could make the big game. So it's going to be pretty exciting to see how that all plays out. So hopefully just follow along on Twitter to see how that goes. I do want to, as we finish off here, I want to say thanks again to Mike from Podskeeweewee for joining us. And of course, thanks to you, Quentin, for coming down, not only to be part of this, but to help us with giving away those Grey Cup tickets, and everything that you guys have done with Pay It Forward with football. So tell everybody again where they can find Pay It Forward. I was actually going to call it Piff Whiff, because that's like the small part, right?
Yeah.
I was
quite an acronym.
Didn't ask me if that would be okay, so I decided to. Anyway, Pay It Forward with football.
Yes.
Where does everybody find that, and where does everybody find you on social media?
You can find us at on our Facebook page, Pay It Forward with football, and on Twitter at Q Eberts, and Sam is at Samantha Eberts.
Awesome, and thank you again, man.
No, thank you for having me.
Everything you guys did this year was outstanding, and we got to meet some really great people out of it, and I think everything that you guys are doing is fantastic.
Well, we appreciate that. It was, like I said, it was a great experience for us, and more coming next year as well.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Very exciting. All right, and of course, as he said, follow everything on the Facebook for next year's excitement. Make sure you check out all of the great shows on the APN as well at Alberta Podcast Network. .com. And then on the Twitters, where does everybody find you, Commissioner?
At Duchess Somebody, and my photography at Ask Empire Photo.
Very good. That's very good. Good correction.
Yeah, thank you.
Super fan?
Somewhere like that.
All right.
You can find me at 56 Parkies and the history at Esks History.
Perfect. Find me at Freepalicious, and of course the show at Esk Empire Pod. You can find all of our social channels on eskempire.ca. We will be back next week to talk Esks in the Grey Cup.
Yes, we will.
Oh, the second time the Turf District will be Grey Cup fever, I'm sure. So anyway, is it time to keep those penalties down and get back to the big game?
Absolutely.
For Quentin, Commissioner Kayla, and Superfan Mike, I'm Andrew. Remember, you can't catch footballs with your face, and we will absolutely talk to you next week.
Thanks for listening. Find more great shows like this at CF Pod Network on Twitter.